Welcome to the wide world of snowboard gear polyamory. I'm James Beastie, and this is the Nitro Team Pro. Next to it is the Nitro Team, and next to that is the Phantom. I rode this in a wide variety of conditions on several Nitro boards as well as some other boards. Then I put these into a sampler with my Yes Greats, Ride Torrent, and Ride Fuse boots, and rode these over several days, once with the ankle straps up and the other with the ankle straps flipped down. So let's talk weight here. The Team Pro with discs and screws in is 2 pounds. That's a good weight. The Team though is 1.8 pounds, so it's a little lighter. And then the Phantom's 2 pounds too. So you're really not seeing a huge weight variation there. Let's talk Highback Flex. This has a nice, easy twist to it and a little give, but a good amount of response. I just like the way this high back fit on my boot and my calf. Never once bit into it, even without rotating it. If you rotate it though, it's even better. It's very similar to the Team. You can see the Flex is very similar too. If you compare to the Phantom, there's a little more stiff going on here. There's a nice bit of give right here so it doesn't calf bite. You can see this cutout here. It really helps this flex back. There's less padding on the Phantom. It's just down lower, where the Team Pro has padding throughout, and so does the Team. The Team's padding's a little softer, but they're very similar. When it comes to flex underfoot, this isn't the most buttery, easy flexing underfoot mini disc binding I've ever tried, but it definitely is better than most full-size discs. You can see the difference between mini, Nitro, full-size, Union, but all full-size are very similar. In comparison to Rome's mini disc, this actually fits full-size mounting, spacing it 40 mil apart as opposed to 20 mil, but it's on par with Union, same size. The difference between mini to the Team and the Phantom, I didn't really notice any difference with flex underfoot between the Team and the Team Pro. I did notice that the Phantom is just a touch less buttery, but overall, the board does not feel dead underfoot with any of the Nitro bindings, and they do a pretty good job at minimizing contact. When it comes to turn initiation and response, you get a twofer. This is the more responsive setting you can see with this up top, and I really noticed a difference in response. It's almost there with the Phantom, which is a very responsive binding. Then you flip it and it becomes much more of a mellow response, more park, freestyle, mountain freestyle oriented binding. The Team and the Phantom, you don't get a twofer. You get a symmetrical ankle strap with a lot of good support. I really enjoyed the response and the versatility response-wise of the Team Pro. It's not quite as versatile as the Rome Katana that has this adjustable ankle strap angle on both sides, so you can go up higher for more response or lower for more freedom of movement. And I liked how this initiated a turn a little better than the Phantom with its soft gas pedal, but the Phantom had more response throughout the turn. I felt like any board I wanted to ride, I could ride with this and it would power it well edge to edge. When it comes to dampness, you don't have a lot going on at the bottom here to make this more damp, but something's going on with this plastic. It feels more damp than some bindings. I think they're doing something down here to help absorb chatter. It's not going to be as good as the Phantom that you can see here. This has this soft kind of plastic rubber that absorbs vibrations better than this, but it's about the same as the Team. And when it comes to shock absorption, you have a little bit of EVA foam in the gas pedal here. EVA foam throughout most of the footbed here, and then it transitions into an airbag in the back. At first I was a little skeptical of this Nitro airbag years ago when I first tried it, but the more I've ridden it, the more I really appreciate it. I don't see any issues with long-term reliability anymore. I mean, maybe after 10 years or so, this plastic can start getting old and crack, but for most people, you're just never gonna have an issue with this. When it comes to boot support, I love this ankle strap. It's amazing what a little bit of extra flair, asymmetry, over your boot in this area does in terms of response and support. I just felt so much better in uneven snow riding off piste with this config than I did flipping it the other way for more freedom of movement. But when you're in the park, you're not seeing a lot of uneven snow, or you're doing more mountain freestyle, playing around, you want that freedom of movement. So you've got both with this, but the toe strap is great. This never came loose once. The ratchet system, it's very smooth, and when it's on a board, this bottom here is very smooth too. Nitro just knows how to make ratchets that work. When it comes to adjustability, you have an adjustable gas pedal and an adjustable heel loop. You can slide this heel loop out a little bit each way so you can center your boot in the binding. It's not as good as the Phantom, which has a screw here and a screw here, but it's good enough with the Team Pro and the Team to get the adjustability you want. They're paying attention to every boot size and every boot footprint, because when you can center the boot in the binding, it's centered on board. Then you can take these discs, and instead of running them heel to toe, you can run them tip to tail because your boot's already centered on board, and you can get the stance width you want. The only other thing I don't really like is this adjustability for the forward lean adjuster. I love the on-the-fly adjustability here as well. So overall, I had the most fun with the Team Pro and the Phantom Plus this year with Nitro's line. The only people I won't recommend this to are people who have setback inserts that are 40 mil apart, because you can't use those with mini discs. But for a lot of people who don't have setback inserts and don't plan to get them, these are great bindings. And if you want a little more response, a little more shock absorption, a little more dampness, the Phantom, or even better, the Phantom Plus, will be a good call for you.